What's up? What's up? What's up? 10 Hut is the 10 Hut show with a side of whiskey. I got my whiskey now. Wait, Levo, I'm almost done, guys. Someone sponsor us. Someone sponsor us. Let's go. Salud. All right, guys.
Are you not drinking?
Cheers. She said, Jack.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, you know what? I want to say thank you so much for those that have been reaching out, on Facebook DM and say, hey, love your show. Keep liking this video, share this videos, and nothing but and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We need to get to 100 because once we get to 100 on YouTube, we can actually change our link so it'll become YouTube/10Hut instead of all these bunch of characters and numbers, right? So please help us with that. And so today we have a awesome guest, and I'm not gonna interview, but I'm gonna pass it on to Jose or Will. And you guys take over.
Hey, Danya.
Hi,
Good
Jose.
to see you again.
Hi.
She's family, so.
Yeah.
But give us a little bit of a background. So we're doing a segments on women in the military for March is veteran women in veteran women in the military. It's for March. So give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah, sure. I joined the military straight out of high school. I tried to do a few things here and there, but it didn't work out for me. So I went straight into the Army and I just joined. I didn't know anything about the military prior to joining it. I was raised here in Southern California, so I didn't see much military. And I joined and I did good on my ASVAB. I did good on the PT test, all that stuff. And they asked me.
So what does that mean? What job did you do? So if you did amazing in the military or in the ASVAB?
In the ASVAB. That's what I'm getting to. So they said, what do you want to be?
Oh, my bad.
I was like, well, what is there? I don't know. What kind of jobs do you have? They're like, do you want to be a cook? I was like, nope, definitely not. They're like, what about an MP? I was like, well, what's an MP? They're like, it's a police officer. I was like, okay, sure, that sounds fun. Let's do that. And then they were like, do you want to jump out of airplanes? I was like, hell yeah, I want to jump out of airplanes. Sign me up. And so that's how that went.
Really? So you went through airborne school and.
I did go through airborne school, but didn't make it. I didn't choose. After I saw what was involved with jumping out of airplanes, I no longer wanted to jump out of airplanes. So changed my mind on that. It wasn't just jumping out of airplanes.
Yeah, Will and I jumped out of airplanes while we were in the military, and
A little bit.
yeah, it's not what you think.
It's a lot harder for women as far as their hips and knees and stuff, so.
Yeah. There were, and then the whole land nav thing. They were telling me I would have to find my way back, and I am horrible with directions. You can ask Pedro. I get them lost all the time. So
The worst part about it is he continues to listen.
You said it, yeah.
I have to get my ass whooped.
We didn't say that, okay? We did. Just for everybody that's listening right now, we did not.
No, see, I own it. I'm horrible with directions. He keeps trying to teach me. You got to put the map in your head and see the streets. I'm like, I can't. Don't try. I have my GPS, and that's good enough for me. So
yeah,
that's
and
how
nowadays
I joined the military.
It's the GPS is handheld, so it makes it a lot easier. But I have a quick question because you kind of mentioned it a little bit. So before the military, you said because a lot of people find themselves joining the military for different reasons. So I want to see, for our audience and relatability, your story prior to the military and then your story during the military.
I want to share these photos that I got here. Let me see. And maybe this will help tell your story.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Before the military, I was actually sent away to a behavior modification program in Ensenada, Mexico. So that's the place right there. I slept in one of those bunks for 2 years. And
oh, wow.
I was there by
so
myself.
You were already preconditioned to sleep in bunks.
What is this? What is this? What is this?
Okay, so that's the wall outside of the place, so you couldn't jump. You can see, like, you couldn't escape. Plus, we were in Mexico with no passports, no ID, like 14, 15-year-old girls. Like, there was no way out of there, you know, unless you wanted to, you know, stay in Mexico for a while. So I was there for a couple years. It was an interesting experience, to say the least. I met a lot of people there, and met a lot of people that had serious drug addictions and just different problems where parents didn't know what to do with their kids anymore. So they sent them there. We were basically on our own, fending for ourselves. We didn't have contact with our parents for a long time after getting there. They didn't want us to tell our parents the conditions that we were in. And if somehow word got out, we were told, they told our parents that we were just manipulative. And you got to think, like, we were being raised by these Mexican women, you know, to them, we're probably like entitled, spoiled brats, you know, in some, you know, home over there. And so they just referred to us as like spoiled brats, manipulative, and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So we weren't really believed on what we were experiencing. So we just kind of shut it out at that point.
But I mean, do you, in hindsight, do you find yourself thinking, like, because I mean, you mentioned that you might have had some behavioral problems, but it wasn't equivalent to, or it wasn't compared to a lot of the girls or the people that were there with you, right?
No.
So you
not the same. I got out of hand. I was a teenager. I was rebellious, but, you know,
standard.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, some of those girls were like addicted to meth and addicted to, you know, heroin, cocaine, like just some pretty hard shit at that age. And I mean, I've heard stories that I won't even go to here because it's like, wow, insane. And that in itself was shocking because I wasn't around that, you know, prior. So seeing that side of things really kind of shook me and kind of scared me. And it plays out into my own parenting today, because I think, like, with everything I do, with every step I make, am I gonna mess up my kids? Like, are they gonna go down that route, you know? So it carried through with me, you know.
So after that, would you say that's the reason you joined the Army, or?
You know, that place taught me to be very disciplined and to have a strict regimen, because everything was laid out for us. I mean, we did our own schooling. So, like, basically we taught ourselves. We graduated classes by ourselves. We didn't have a teacher or anything like that. So we were like on our own, but we had specific times. So if we didn't feel like doing anything or showing up, we weren't going to get through to the next class. And certain classes would take me like months, and others, like math, I think I passed geometry in like a month and a half or something like that.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So I think subconsciously that place has definitely led me into the military. Although I will say I would have preferred boot camp to that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's
Because
that?
it was
That's I mean, it's like you make it sound like a horrible boot camp with for years, right? You were there how long? Like a couple years or
2 years. I was there for 2 years. Yeah.
From what age to what age again? Sorry.
14 to 16.
Wow.
Okay, so you came back, and when you came back, you were back in high school, or were you had already advanced and had already graduated in their terms?
No, I went back to high school when I came back. I actually moved in with my dad and went back to high school there. And I went back, like, I don't know how much time, maybe like a week or two, or maybe until the next semester, but I acted like nothing happened. I just pretended like I moved out of my mom's and into my dad's.
Wow.
I didn't tell anybody.
It's coping mechanism. But okay, wait, I have a quick question. So you joined straight out of high school, right? I'm interested to know what your experience was meeting a recruiter for the first time,
Oh.
especially with your previous experience with, you know, living in Mexico for a while and already knowing what a drill sergeant,
What institutionalized?
institution. So,
Actually,
because I'm sure that you could probably smell the bullshit coming out of their mouth when they were telling you about, you know, some of these recruitment tactics. So, what is your experience?
I actually didn't know anything about the military. I wasn't even thinking about the military until one of my friends came back from the Marine boot camp and he told me about it. And I swear, I think I talked to him for maybe 10 hours or something about it. And then straight from there, I went to the recruiting office and I didn't listen. I just was like, I want to join. And the trick was I had to get my birth certificate from my mom without telling her, you know, how I was going to, what I was doing. And luckily she gave it to me. I think I said it's for college or something stupid. But so, yeah, I didn't care. They just asked, they wanted to know if I could run and do push-ups and stuff. But I was in really good shape because of my gymnastics background. So like the fitness aspect was nothing for me.
You were doing push-ups vertically.
I was
Handstand freaking push-ups.
Yeah, handstand push-ups and shit.
Yeah. I was doing lots of push-ups. I met the men's standards in push-ups and sit-ups, just not running. That's not my thing. I was more of a power athlete, so I could sprint, but long distance running was really hard for me.
Yeah. So did you do airborne at all, or did you just wipe it off before?
No, I went. They sent me to Fort Benning, straight out of basic training. I went to Fort Benning.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, I thought I was getting a break. What's going on here? I got to go straight from training to more training. And MP training is 5 months worth of boot camp. It's not what is it? 3 months is standard, or 9 weeks or something like that. We actually stayed there and did a whole 5 months. And there was me and a few other girls that went to airborne school. No men, none of the men went, just the ladies. And they shipped us off. We went on a bus and we went straight over there, and we were sent to some World War II barracks with roaches and rats everywhere. And this Cali girl, I was like, oh man.
But when was that again? What year? Do you remember?
2005.
So they switched from, it used to be 3-week course. They did ground week, tower week, and then you jumped on 3rd week.
Yes. Yeah.
But now, after 2003, they switched it to a 2-week course. Yeah. They no longer do tower week because they don't jump from the 50-foot towers anymore. They don't drop you from the.
Yeah, we had that in our.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, so really quick, I'm going to cut it. But we have a question from one of our viewers. It seems like you learned practical skills in that experience. Did they help with any soft skills that teenagers experience in early teen years? How would you?
Oh, I think she's referring to the camp that you were in Mexico.
Yeah.
So we went to seminars, and we had to listen to like Tony Robbins, and if we got in trouble for breaking a rule, such as, I don't know, leaving our pens somewhere, because we had to write our names on our pens. So if they found our pens somewhere, we would have to sit in a room with walls around, like a cubicle. And we would sit there for like 10 hours or something, listening to history tapes or something stupid and taking tests on them until we passed the tapes, passed the tests. I learned a lot from being there. I'm not going to lie. It was hard, but I don't see that. I don't take only bad. Like there was good too. You know, it taught me independence. It gave me my strength. It gave me, the ability to understand emotions, because before that I didn't understand what my emotions were at all, and I had to learn how to share them. I was forced to learn how to share my emotions in an open, raw, and real public way.
I think that's one of the most important. I don't know if it's even categorized as a soft skill, but I think it's one of the most important skills somebody can can develop, and especially if you're doing it at an early age, 16, or 14, 16.
I think that's one of the biggest problems we have as veterans is we struggle with that, finding ourselves. Wow. So, back to what Jose was talking about. So you went to MP school, you went to Airborne, and then you said no more. How was that as a woman? Because MP school is usually targeted more for males, or more males are in that field, and it's not an easy task. By the way, MP school is military police or cop. That's
Yeah, you're a cop.
Top flight, Craig.
top flight.
Yeah, there was pros and cons. So in a platoon, there was probably 3 women in basic and also in my unit. So per platoon, we had probably about 3 to 4 women. I don't think, maybe 3. And it was kind of cool. I kind of felt like a badass, being able to keep up and hold my ground in that sense. And in some ways, like, it was nice too, because we got certain privileges, like not privileges, but I don't know if when you guys had to take showers and you guys were all in, like, there was like 10 showers in there, and the drill sergeants would go like, switch. And we all looked at each other. We're like, So we kind of got away with a little bit because they couldn't, be in there with us. Yeah. But other than that, I mean.
So you got to take longer showers than we did?
Yep, we did. We definitely did. Nobody was switching. We had longer.
Yeah,
hair, though.
all you need to do is right here, and right here. That's it.
Yeah. We had to wash our hair,
we had no hair.
The 3 vitals. Yeah, the 3 vitals. That was it.
Yeah, 3 vitals right here, right here.
Oh no, that didn't fly for us. We showered. We all looked at each other. We're like, we're not switching.
I would say, wash your arms, wash your ass, wash your crotch. Get out.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, we definitely showered.
Yeah. All right. What else? Sorry.
So as a woman, I mean, we did all the same training as the guys. I knew some women who were actually up at night and in the morning doing extra training on their own just so they can keep up. I actually won. She was really hardcore. Like she ran faster than most of the guys. She was pretty amazing. And then there was a lot of women who also had to get out medically discharged because most of them fractured their hips, and that was threat to women because obviously you need your hips for birthing children and stuff. So a lot of women went through that as well.
So it's funny you bring that up because the VA acknowledges that that most women will fracture their hip at one point, and many don't even know that they have fractured their hips. It happens a lot with the drill movements that we're doing whenever we're in training, and of course all the jumping. You were talking about earlier with the knees. Jose. I mean, when you're jumping, you blow out knees like it's no other.
My knees are shot.
Yeah, hips are a big issue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I haven't talked to too many women that have, and not that there isn't any, but too many women that have gone through airborne school and airborne units and stuff like that. But the landing is not soft, and I mean, I've known guys that have fractured hips, have fractured clavicles, they're like fractured shit when you're landing. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons I'm not going to do that. Uncle Sam's not paying me enough to do this right now.
No, they don't.
So you went through MP school, you graduated, you went and became a cop or a MP in the Army. How was it as an MP, male dominated, again, feel like we were talking about, to work with that, did you feel at any time you felt like you were treated unequally or
discriminated?
You know what? As soon as I got to my unit, every single guy wanted to go out with me, like all of them. And I just wouldn't, I didn't play that game. And it was funny because what Pedro had done was he made a contract with one of the ladies from my unit. One of the
dirt out there. Putting dirt out there.
He said, "Bring me
Throw
all
the dirt
the
out.
girls.
Let's hear it.
I want to meet them."
What was that?
He did. And so she goes to me one night. She's like, "Let's go out. Let's go check it out." I'm like, "Okay, sure." So we go out, and she
wait. Just I'm gonna pause you real quick, just so that our audience know a little bit more context. So Danya is married to Pedro De Leon. We didn't mention that earlier, and I'm pretty sure they would have caught that on, but
by the last name, I would say the last name.
Hey, you don't know.
We're not brother and sister, that's for sure.
No,
no,
they are not related by blood.
All right,
that's nasty.
Story about Pedro.
All right. Throw my dirt out there. Damn it.
So yeah, he made that contract with her. He was smart. But she brought me out. She introduced me to Pedro, and she disappeared. Like, she took off. I was like, what?
Ninja vanish.
I'm new here. I don't know anybody. I'm in a foreign country. What's going on? But I met.
Wait,
Pedro,
what country was this again?
Korea.
Oh, I love Korea.
Yeah, it was
Never
fun.
been.
It was really fun. I got to do underage drinking. I wasn't supposed to. But
At Incheon. Oh, there.
You're wearing a federal uniform and still underage.
I wasn't in uniform.
Oops. We all did it.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was good times. We met we had a really fun night dancing, and that's how we, met. And he was in my unit, and so people people liked him a lot. So I don't know what he said to them, but nobody really messed with me. Yeah, I was kind of left alone by the guys. They treated me equally. Pedro actually, some of the guys in his unit were very incompetent for some reason. And he would actually tell me to do their jobs sometimes.
I'm holding my tongue so bad.
No, go for it, Will. Go for it, Will. Go for it. No, do it. Say it.
I'm the Air Force guy in here.
I know. That's all I was gonna say. It. Like, it's true. There was so many freaking competent individuals.
I worked with the Army for in a couple of instances, so I know.
I won't lie. A lot of people from the Army are high speed, low drag, bro.
Yeah, we met some interesting characters. We had this one girl in our unit. She was pregnant. Okay, I won't say her name, but she used to say, "I ate snakes," and she used to go out to the club barefoot, pregnant, and smoking while dancing with like 10 different dudes, and it was interesting. She used to say, "I ate snakes."
We'll save that conversation for another.
Yeah. Like that kid on YouTube. I had turtles.
Yeah, the crazy stories of the military.
Yeah.
I have a story though, and I want to hear more about this one. And we're kind of going into the story mode.
I think we definitely should do another segment on just stories, funny as shit.
No, but do a story.
So, Mike, I want to hear more about the story where you actually took down a guy, right?
Hold on, guys. We got a question here, so let's keep it. So I said, appreciate your strength in your life, sharing your life story. What personal development resource do you recommend for a young woman in the military?
Jennifer's getting ahead of the show.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer, for that. I strongly recommend all women and everybody in general, go find some personal development and focus on yourself and who you are as a person. I learned a lot about personal development through Pedro. He's the one that, shared different things with me because I just thought it was all about counseling. He was the one who found alternative resources. And one of them is a course called NLP. So that was very powerful for me. It actually taught me how to communicate more effectively and to really engage with my emotions better. You can ask Pedro, I was completely shut down from my experiences emotionally. I didn't laugh. I was just kind of like almost like a robot, emotionless. So NLP was a good one. I also recommend also looking into like sound healing. Those are really powerful tools to use.
So I want to ask something because got a question here. So NLP is neuro linguistics programming. So that is what Tony Robbins has trained in order to help people to change their lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a great modality, and it has many benefits to it. But as a person who has gone through so many traumas, it just kind of tied me down and reminded me who I was and taught me to introspect a little bit better and pay attention to my thoughts more, because our thoughts becomes our reality. And a lot of us walk around in day and life not really knowing what our thoughts are, because a lot of it is subconscious. And the more we can bring out, the more aware we are, the better the reality that we can create.
I want to ask something because Danya says she says a lot of things, and some things that she doesn't tell people. Right? I like to share this, and it's not more like it's the importance of people with trauma. It is important to work with others, right? To help, especially with veterans, right? Having traumas, dealing with traumas. Danya, when we were at Citrus College, my father-in-law passed away. She literally the next day she went to school to finish up her test. So actually we had a test to finish up, and she was emotionless, and I always tell Jose, like, 2 people with PTSD in the house is really, it's not good. It's hard. It's a really hard thing, but I can say Danya has been through a lot more than I have. And I can tell you that it's important to, like, if you have someone who's a loved one, make sure, you ask questions or whatever you need to do to get them help, and it doesn't mean that if you're getting help doesn't mean you're weak. It's just that there's a lot of things that you're not aware of, so we helped each other like that in that sense, but just kind of throwing out there.
Yeah, we did, Pedro. Luckily, like, we have been at it numerous times, but for the most part, we push each other to be better. He knew I needed something at that time, and he signed me up for CrossFit because that's what I knew how to process my emotions. I was a gymnast, so hard, tough exercising was like a way for me to, process things. And he signed me up for that. He found out a way to make it happen. We didn't have much money, but we just figured it out. And that's the thing that, he's helped me out a lot in that sense.
Wow. That's pretty impressive, Pedro. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
I don't tell a lot of people our story. Well, Jose knows. Yeah.
No, I mean, outside of I've seen the growth that they've gone through, and because of their growth, I've grown myself. Primary example, I just got married in October because the growth that I've seen with them, so, and the help that he has provided for other people through NLP and stuff like that. So, not that I've subscribed to it, but I know it helps.
Subscribe to
people.
It'll be chat.
Well, but anyway,
yeah.
Going back to Danya, and so you're in the military. You don't, Pedro apparently has put this protective bubble around you, and no one wants to talk to you now.
Also, I earned my stripes because I could keep up with the guys, I kept my shit squared away. I was able to keep up. My PT scores were good. I mean, there was not, even though I am a very rebellious person, somehow I got away with it. I actually have this one story. We had this corporal who got promoted, he came to the unit as a corporal, which, for those of you who don't know, corporal is an unusual rank. Not many people get it. It usually goes from specialist to sergeant. And so corporal is like somewhere in between there. I don't know what. But
E4, right?
Yeah,
it's an E4 promotable.
They get paid the same, but I don't know.
The Air Force used to have bus sergeants, and then we got rid of those.
Yeah, it was a corporal. And he was like, "You will address me as corporal and stand at parade rest." But you know what?
Well, bad E4. That's what that is.
The E4 Mafia.
Yeah, E4 mob.
Yeah, he's the E4 Mafia. There you go. And they put him in charge of me. And that didn't go so well. One day I don't know what I did, something to piss him off. And he was like, "Push." I was like, "Nope, I'm not doing it." And then my squad leader came. He's like, "I know how he is. I get it. But can you please just do it for me? Like,
We have
I
some
know you
self-ass
probably didn't
guys,
do
dude.
much, but
What?
Yeah, dude. We have some self-ass guys. But you know what? You know what's interesting though? I want to say that a lot of the guys are traumatized. And then here's the thing, you know, is that they're traumatized because of the simple fact of sexual harassment. So some women will actually throw that card quick, you know, and a lot of them won't,
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
they'll, you know, so that's a mix. And that was a problem with being on the, you know, the MP unit.
Yeah, because there wasn't a lot of women there, so they didn't really know what to do with us, you know? Like, they didn't know, you know, they didn't know if they could treat us like the guys or what. But in my experience, they showed me respect and kindness, and, you know, that was it. But, yeah, my squad leader was like, "Just do it for me. Just do it." And then they called Pedro over, like, "Are you going to do something about this?" Because he outranked
Am I
him
doing
at the
shit?
time. He didn't do
I ain't doing shit. What are you calling me for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was interesting.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
A lot of people do mention this, you know, like the whole sexual harassment and the fear, I guess, that a lot of guys are exhibiting in the military.
But let's put it out there that there is a fear because there is a problem.
Yes.
Like, and I say it because there is a lot of assault that happens in the military, a lot of unreported assault. There's, you know, but there is that fear because there is a problem.
Yeah,
And it isn't a fear that, they're always going to report us. No, there's a fear because there has been many cases where it's been reported, and now people are starting to listen to those reports and actually doing something about it. So let's put that out there.
Yeah, there was a lot, and I've experienced some things as well. But from my experience, I think sexual harassment comes from unresolved emotions, and I don't think a sexual harassment course every month is going to do anything about it. I think it's actually getting, you know, in touch with, you know, men and women. They're not taught how to deal with, you know, frustrations and whatever. They're just taught to suck it up and man up and whatever else, especially in the Army. You know, they don't want to hear your crap. And that leads to unresolved anger and unresolved trauma because they don't feel safe, and they end up taking it out on some, you know, in some shape or another. And I think that in order to begin to solve this problem, we need to teach people emotional wellness and how to really deal with, you know, things, how to ask for help, because most of us don't even know how to ask for help when we need it. I don't. Every time I try to use to ask for help, I would get denied, or I was given help with some half-ass attitude, you know. So asking for help from me was a really, not because I didn't want the help, but because I felt like the help was burdening people, because that's the response I received, you know. So I think there's a lot that we can do, and that's why having courses on being more self-aware is probably more efficient than those sexual harassment courses that they did.
Yeah. Well,
every month.
Definitely a topic. What would you say for leadership? Like, I mean, how would you say that they could implement something to, you know, if you right now were talking to leadership in the Army, what would you say would be the most beneficial way to help with this problem?
So it's a little tricky situation in the Army, because you want the men to be tough and the women, because they're going to war. You know, they're preparing to go and do something most people don't do. They have to be strong, you know, but strength doesn't necessarily mean shoving your emotions down. You know, strength is actually, that's actually masculine toxicity or feminine toxicity, when you just have all these unresolved pain and trauma just with nowhere to go but a beer bottle, or, you know, that doesn't solve anything. So for leadership, I think normalizing, not talking about your emotions, but normalizing what resources a person can use if they're feeling a certain way, where they can go get help, not like shaming anybody for it, but just and I know that happens too, because if a person gets help, they get the crazy stamp on them, you know. So
well, not only that, you'll lose your clearance.
Yeah, there's that too, you know. So maybe just having a general course on self-awareness and emotional development, you know, because I think us men and women can be a lot stronger the more we know ourselves.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I learned when I got out, you know, and it took a while, because you know, Jose, you know, you've been through this road, is spirituality, you know, and people, I'm not talking about like believing in God, you know, or whatever, but believing in a higher being, you know, and finding your balance within. Yeah, finding your balance within. And it takes a long time, and it sucks that I had to learn that after I got out, not while I was in, you know, because I think a lot of things would have been different for me in the military. So I definitely get that. And I hope that some leadership gets a hold of this video and runs with it.
Yeah, I agree, man.
You know, it's interesting because emotional intelligence is being taught a lot in Fortune 500 companies, you know.
But it's in college. But that's the problem, that it's in college. You know, like you don't hear of IE till you're finishing last year of undergrad or master's program, you know. In business, they start teaching that stuff, but it's
that. But that's where the biggest gap lies, bro. It's and you mentioned it, Donnie. It's how do you bridge that gap of teaching a soldier how to be tough, teaching a soldier how to react and act and adapt to the conditions of a war, you know, and implement emotional intelligence and things like that. How do you bridge that? And I think that's where the biggest issue is right now. It's how to teach soldiers how to be tough and how to be an effective soldier overseas and still be an emotional.
They can't be crybabies, you know. They can't.
And still be emotionally intelligent when you come back home, especially after going through a lot of the trauma that most military service members go through. So, but we're running out of a little bit of time, and we're, you know, the show's. We would love to talk to you again.
I want to hear this before we leave. I want to hear the story about you whooping some dudes' ass, because I mean.
Oh yes, I do. Yes.
I want to hear that.
Okay. So we I don't know if you guys did it, but we had hand-to-hand combat in our unit. So we would have it once every few months or something. And usually I got paired with a woman, but this time there was nobody else. So I had to fight with a guy. He was kind of my size, so I guess it was okay.
Okay, so he was your size.
He was my size, and I don't know. I was just like, in my mind, I was like, I have to beat him. I can't let him show me up. Like, and I think maybe he was a little afraid. I don't know if he was or not, but he kind of tried to, you know, to win, but I ended up winning. I got him in a chokehold and I got him. I got him, but nobody did anything or said anything. I was so freaking proud of myself. I was like, I'm the best, you know, on top of the world. But I guess they didn't want to embarrass him, or I don't know what, but
that's another thing, acknowledgement though, but that's it ruined his career.
Yeah.
You ruined that guy career in the military.
No, they'll put that on his file, bro. You got. Nah, I'm just kidding. You got your ass whooped.
Yeah.
You should have given him a rematch.
It was fun.
Cool.
It was really fun. Yeah, it was really fun.
Nice.
All
right, cool, guys.
Combat.
Let's talk about our whiskeys because I heard you got something good over there. Jose?
Oh yeah.
What are you drinking?
So mine is a Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select. It's a Tennessee whiskey. Straight from Lynchburg, Tennessee, bro.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Oh, shit.
Single barrel. It's actually pretty good. I like it better than the regular Jack Daniels. So
I'm still celebrating St. Patrick's Day, so
how's that one?
This in Black Barrel, and I'm gonna tell you right now, man, this is a good bottle, and I got it for my birthday from you. But
you got it from us.
and it's a really good whiskey, I gotta say. It's super smooth, really. You can taste a little bit of oak that they use, but really good whiskey. Yeah. Next time we'll have to have a glass together.
I'm almost done.
Oh,
White label. I gotta get another bottle.
Our viewers, if you know of any company that's doing, I think I was reading an article earlier this week that there's some companies do, like they'll pay you to drink their whiskey and stuff like that. So if our viewers want to sponsor us for a whiskey or know of any companies that will sponsor us for whiskey,
just let us taste it. Just let us taste it. We don't need the money. We just
we just want to
taste it. Yeah. And make sure you bring 3 bottles, 4 for extra. You know.
Yeah, for our guests.
For a guest.
Yeah. Make sure our guest gets one.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a pleasure talking to you today.
Yes, thank you so much, Donnie. It was so interesting. Thank you.
Hearing a woman's perspective of the Army, especially the job that you did. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, hands down. Definitely.
Donnie, what is your favorite branch in the military?
The Army.
All right. I don't know. In some of the road marches I've done and some of the hard shit I've always said I should have joined the Air Force.
You mean the orchestra singing festivals y'all have, right? Is that what you're talking about? The marching?
Yes.
Is that what you guys call it? Is that what you guys call it?
Oh, yeah. Y'all are like freaking canaries singing down the street. Y'all just sing and walk with like just keeping your somewhat of formation.
I just can't believe I hit it from the Air Force.
You're like,
really?
That's how y'all do, bro.
Sing, motherfucker, sing.
I guess it's kind of hard to sing on a bike.
That's all y'all do is sing-alongs. That's what I call it.
I guess it's hard to sing on a bike. So
you know what, dude? That's what you're right, bro. That's why we're so good at karaoke. That's why we're so good at karaoke.
I'm so good at
You're
karaoke.
absolutely right. Yeah.
I'm so good at karaoke.
No, this guy is. If you guys watch this guy singing the karaoke.
Dude, next time we go to karaoke, I'm gonna videotape it. I'm gonna put it on our channel.
All right.
I'm gonna show our audience, dude.
Yeah, it's how great I am at singing.
All
right, guys. Go ahead.
Pedro, ask your question, bro.
No, I don't have no other questions.
Yeah,
my question. Oh, yeah. She was like, "Don't ask me this question," but I'm gonna ask it. What is your favorite MRE?
Okay, guys, I am so sorry to disappoint, but I completely forgot about that because I blocked it out. A trauma response, I guess. I have no idea.
Trauma from MREs.
They were all horrible. Every single one.
No, there's a good one. There's always
especially the ones with pound cake.
Okay, which one did you trade? What did you trade for? What? Tell us that.
At least
I know you traded your
MRE. If
MRE.
it had candy, I would want the candy. That's it. That's all I cared about. M&M's.
The Skittles.
Oh man.
Skittles. Yeah.
Or the Snickers.
The
Snickers.
The laxative
Like
gum.
It was a test. None of them came with Snickers. Skittles. They came with Skittles.
That was like
or M&M's.
or
Dry up.
M&Ms.
Yeah, or
I
M&Ms.
rarely saw M&Ms.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
They were all.
But they were dry. Most of the time they were dry. Dude.
Yeah, they were like fucking expired. That's why.
They were as fuck.
Cracked and like almost.
They were like, you would bite into them and the chocolate was like rancid. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
the peanut, like
That shit would not melt in your hands, bro.
and the
That's how
peanut
old it
was
was.
like so old. The peanut was so old that it tasted like just raw peanuts. I don't know.
Like dirt. No, it tasted like dirt. It was a grain.
raw peanuts.
That
They're
shit was
gross.
coffee, bro.
Let's call it a night. Leave it
Coffee
at
bean.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, remember, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, like this video, share this video, and subscribe to our channel. Get 100 subscribers. We can definitely change it to, to YouTube/10hut. Help us out. Salud. Until next time.
Salud.
Take care.
Drink responsibly.
Yes.